Hey YouTube, I'm back with a little Monday morning commute and want to talk to you about the single most important communication thing that we do on a daily basis in the office place, and that is the email. And emails are the bane of my existence. I'm gonna guess they're probably pretty close to that for you too. But one of the reasons they are so painful is that 99% of people do them wrong, in my opinion, and I'm going to take you through that, but I guarantee you, if you listen to what I'm saying and employ at least some of these things, you're going to start to communicate better with your coworkers, and some of the things that I'm going to tell you will start to make you crazy too. But first off, let's start with the subject line. You know, I get numerous emails on a weekly basis with the subject header of project or important or stuff. And, you know, it's not really particularly searchable when you do that. So, you know, I am very conscious about always titling my video, or my emails very specifically, so that if I need to find it, or if somebody else needs to find, you know, what I sent them, it's under a very specific subject line, and, you know, sometimes even more specific in terms of focusing in on a single piece of a project. You know, banner design for X event, things like that, rather than just the simple 1 or 2 word stuff headlines and subject lines. And it's one of those silly things because we're all in a hurry when we do emails. And that's pretty evident by what I get out of it when I start reading them from other people. But moving on to the body, don't bury the lead. That's a term we use in the news, or used, you know, when I worked in the news. Don't bury the lead. You know, it's too common to see the important piece of the message buried, you know, 3-4 sentences deep into a paragraph of, you know, otherwise nonsense, or what I refer to now as the random excuse generator, because nothing's ever on time. So you get this email and, oh, I'm sorry this is late, my dog ate my homework. You know, insert random excuse there. You know what, I really stopped caring. Give me the email, I don't need the excuses, just give me the information. So, you know, whatever it is that the email is about, get it up there right in the first sentence so that people, you know, your recipient understands immediately what this email is about. Save the excuses for later. You know, this is, you know, in the days prior to email being such a regular communication, we often had to face our bosses, our supervisors, our clients, and deliver bad news in person. Now we just craft some really crazy email and send it off with the excuse of whatever it is for why the project is late or wrong or incorrect, you know. And it's silliness, because I guarantee you the person on the other end of that email is shaking their head and calling the BS card. So, you know, save the excuses for later. That's just, it's silliness in my opinion. But anyway, next step in my little world of email is numbered lists. If you have questions, if you have concerns or comments, numbered lists are the way to go, because it makes it very specific and identifiable, and you shouldn't anyway have to worry about people saying, oh God, well, I didn't see you had asked about that. Yeah, it's question 4. So, you know, I always, when I have multi-point emails, everything is in a numbered list, because again, it's easily referenceable, and it doesn't get caught up because you included it in some sort of run-on paragraph of 16 sentences, many of which are already sentence fragments. So you know, numbered lists are fantastic. That gives the recipient a chance to answer very specifically and in detail with answers to specific questions, because you have laid it out very nicely for them already. And if they don't have the answer, or if they leave it blank, you know, you have an opportunity then to respond to that and say, I really still need an answer to question number 4. It just makes that part of the communication process so much easier, because you don't find yourself having to reiterate things that you have already talked about or things that you have already highlighted. Now, if you are the recipient of a numbered list, answer all the questions, even if you don't know all the answers. You have to respond with something. You cannot leave it blank. Here's your answers to 1, 3, and 5. Well, but 4, I need 4 too. That's your opportunity to say, I'll look into it, or I don't know, or this is the person who has that answer, and approach it accordingly. Emails, like I say, they're painful. They seem to take way too much of our time on a daily basis. But if you communicate effectively from the beginning, then the process streamlines itself so much easier. These are things, again, I wish I could tell my 22, 23-year-old self when I used to fill the email with excuses and, bury the lead, bury the important information or questions or whatever. People don't want to read all that. If you feel the burning desire that you have to explain why a project failed or is behind or whatever, or even just a personal note, include it after the numbered list, include it after all of the truly relevant information is out there, and just make it easier for your recipients to get the information that they need, and hopefully in return they will do the same for you. Just a few helpful tips on emails, things that I have learned over the years, and things, it's amazing in the world of social media and constant communication that we are still such poor communicators, not only in email, but, if you hadn't noticed, grammar and spelling are a dying art. And at least in a numbered list of questions, bad grammar you can start to piece together, because it doesn't look like it's part of another question. Which is another pet peeve, by the way, the double question. And I used to be guilty of this one too. Probably this was my biggest offense, was the, are you going to do this or should I, question mark? Well, then you get the yes response. Okay, well, are you going to do it or am I? That's one of those things. There's no need to ask 2 questions in one phrase there. Is this your responsibility, question mark? That pretty well sums it up. Or is this my responsibility, question mark? Stringing those 2 questions together begs a response that's just doomed to be misunderstood if it's not handled correctly. Take all of the chance out of the communication by doing it right on your end and asking questions, providing information the correct way and the concise way, so that there's no question marks about who's supposed to be doing what, when, and how. Anyway, just a few little tips that I have figured out over the years of my own failings and miscommunication. And I am arriving back in my little town after my 35-minute commute on a Thursday afternoon. Headed for a long weekend. This is going to be fun. I'll be doing some more videos over the weekend, so you can look forward to that. But this has been Monday Morning Commute on a Thursday afternoon. Above all, keep your eyes on the prize. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care.